Oh, it's spitting? Cool.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? We're back at it again on Durban Poison. It's your boy, guy, Stephanie Celine. And today I have a special guest, Laura. She's a good friend of mine. We went to college together. She's a director. And I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hi, my name is Laura Gonzalez. I am in directing emphasis and I'm about to graduate college hopefully next year. So, yeah.
So today we're about to talk about a nice movie that both of us like very much. And what is it? Tell the people.
Roma, of
Roma.
course.
From directors Alfonso Cuarón and shot by Alfonso Cuarón.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because he was a cinematographer on it.
He was a cinematographer, director, and he did the screenplay.
Yeah, he wrote it, he directed it, and he shot it. Do you know why he shot it though? Because he's the type of director that usually works with Emmanuel Lubezki. Do you know Emmanuel Lubezki? He's like a very good Mexican cinematographer. But he wasn't available for the project, you know. So Alfonso Cuarón was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it because I feel like there's another Mexican director called cinematographer called what's his name? Gallo Olivares. Gallo Olivares. He's not famous. He's a very good cinematographer. If you look him up, you're gonna see his work. But he was the camera operator on Roma.
Well, I feel like Alfonso shot that Roma because it's based on his childhood.
Oh yeah, he's based on the true story. That's his personal story.
His personal story is about his nanny when he was younger and like more of the things like also like the dad leaving and all that stuff. He was part of his childhood, so I think that's why he wanted to like. Of course, he was part of his childhood. I feel like he wanted to be more personal with it, so that's why he decided to do it by himself.
So do you think that there's a possibility that he wanted to do everything by himself because he felt more connected to the story?
More connected, to feel like more
That's
feeling.
good.
And I think I heard that his nanny, it was like a recapitulation of his memories of his nanny. So I think he got in contact with his nanny.
Oh, he did.
To like have also her, like her part of how it was to help him to like construct all the
memories. Because I feel like he was young, so mostly everything that he wrote in the story was from his memory, just like you said.
Yeah.
But to help him construct a better story, he had to contact her in order to have a better story.
Yeah.
But my question is, do you think that the movie or the story would have been the same way if never got in contact with his nanny?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so because I feel like memories is the way you remember something is also
Can be
like
wrong sometimes.
the way you felt in that moment.
Yeah.
So maybe that you feel like something we're living in this moment or we're doing something in this moment and I might feel some
type of way
and you might feel different. Then maybe in 20 years we'll talk about this and we'll say, oh, I remember this.
Yeah, and one of us don't remember and then the other can help the other one remember better. Oh, I see. That's great. I've never thought of this like in that perspective, but that's a good perspective.
I think that's why the movie makes you so sentimental and more. I don't know, when I watch it, I'm from Colombia. It's not Mexico, but it's still Latin America.
Yeah, it's
so
Latin America.
a lot of things are similar. And when I was watching, I kind of like remember my childhood too, because I used to have a nanny, and my house was like kind of like similar. And I don't know, like Latin,
the vibe is the same.
Yeah, Latin families were kind of like the same vibe. So yeah, it was very nostalgic.
That's great. I mean, I can't relate in the sense of cultural, sense, but I definitely can relate in the sense that I had a nanny too, and I feel like Alfonso Cuarón, he did a great job in this movie.
It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Director.
Yeah.
And the way he shot his movies is What do you think about the cinematography?
Oh boy,
I bet
you
you
do.
love it.
You did not want to ask me the question because
It's-
I loved it so much.
It's one of the best cinematographies that I ever.
Yeah, people are
seen.
speculating to the fact that he didn't deserve the Oscar or whatever,
Oh,
but
shut up.
he did.
Yeah.
Shut the hell up. Because he did. The cinematography was so amazing. I remember when I first watched, I watched the movie like at least 3 times, right? At least 3 times. The second time, I wanted to like show to my friends, like, bro, this is like a nice movie. I like it. You want to watch it? And then when the movie started, everybody was like, bro, we're 5 minutes into it. We're 10 minutes into it, and nobody's talking.
Yeah, it starts.
It's slow as hell.
It starts with a floor, and then you just see the floor for like I don't know how many minutes.
Yeah,
and then
it's
water
cinema.
is coming.
It takes time. It takes time. It builds up everything.
It builds relationship with the character. I think that's the first because the first hour of the movie is very slow.
Yeah, it is slow. Even the whole movie is slow in itself, right? And the second part, when you feel like is faster because the first part was so slow
It's
that
slow.
when it picks up the pace a little bit, you're like, okay, maybe it's a little faster.
I feel like it's because he's building that connection, that intimacy
Mhm.
with the character.
Exactly.
You know? So you stay in the moment, and one of the things that I feel like people doesn't really like about Roma is that doesn't have like a plot.
Mm-hmm.
It's just life.
I feel like that is just life, but it does have a plot.
Yeah,
he have
at
a
the
plot.
end.
Yeah, he has a plot of his life.
Mhm.
You feel me?
But
So-
it's just life. It's like how life goes, and I feel like this is a true based history, you know.
Mhm.
But you know how they make like movies that say like, oh, it happened in real life, and then it's just super Hollywood.
Yeah,
they
super
just
romanticized.
add
I
so
know,
many
right?
things, and it makes it more like boom. But here it's just so with drama, it's just so simplistic and so
Raw. Yeah.
I love that movie.
So, what do you think about the actual story? We talk about the movie, right? So,
Mhm.
what do you think about the actual story? Do you think the story is worth telling?
I think so because you know sometimes we as humans sometimes we focus on like some or things or something like superhero movies or like all
Mhm.
that kind of stuff. But
Entertainment.
entertainment, yeah. But there is a few directors that can show how real life is,
Mhm.
and sometimes that is your movie, real life. You
Yeah.
know that it goes slow, and you know, for example, all there's a lot in the movie. There's a lot of things that happen all at once in the same time, but and those things like never have like a closure
Mhm.
because at the same time it's life. So
Yeah.
one thing happens and then another thing can happen, and that's still like before it's still there, you know, kind
Yeah.
of way. And I
Yeah.
think like it's necessary to like kind of like see, I don't know how we can like also, I don't know, feel connected more with life.
Feel
instead
connected
of,
to
like,
it in a certain way.
Yeah.
So my next question for you is like, do you think that in the future, when you have like a bigger career, when you've made a lot of money, you think that you can get to the point where you want to tell your story?
That's interesting. I think so. You know, because I feel like everyone in a certain way is special.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like everyone would like to put their life on there and see like this is me and this is what I did and this is what I do maybe, you know.
Yeah.
Or like a certain time where they feel this way or different things. So
Mhm.
I think I will, but the hard thing for me is just to then like how people receive it. You know?
Oh yeah, the perception of people.
I feel like I not for like the judgment because I really don't care about
Yeah,
what people
you talk about
think
like the you know how they're gonna feel, you know,
yeah,
when they're
how
watching.
gonna feel and
It doesn't
how I'm
matter.
gonna feel like knowing that a lot of people knows my story.
I feel like what matters is how you're gonna feel, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you can control the way you feel by not caring about the negative
Yeah.
comments because they don't know what you've been through. They don't know your art.
But
You
it's
feel
just
me?
like I see it like in that way that if you put your word there to everyone see it, now you're gonna be kind of like naked.
Yeah,
You
a
know what
little
I
bit.
mean?
Yeah,
So that is the thing.
you're
like,
right. You're definitely right.
like that feeling of like all these people is gonna know what happened to me.
Oh
Or what Not
yes,
for the judgment, not for if people is gonna like or not, because at the end it's my movie. I do whatever I want.
and that's exactly why.
Mhm.
That's exactly why I say that. not everybody has the ability to make it now because you have to pass through all this trauma. You know what I'm saying? Right now, you feel like, oh, I'm gonna be naked, but like in 20 years, you're gonna feel like, I don't give a fuck, I don't care. And I feel like that's exactly how he felt, and then he put the movie out because like probably like maybe 20 years prior, 30 years prior, he wanted to tell the story, but he was cautious, like what people gonna think, are they gonna receive it best or bad? You feel me?
But he did it in a way that he was not focusing on himself, but his nanny.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know.
Because that's his perception, that's his perspectives. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like even right now, when you're looking at me, you don't see yourself. No, you see me. You see the whole world. I don't see myself. You know, in the whole, I see the whole thing. So that's my perceptions. You know what I'm saying? So if in my perceptions, in my perceptives, right, somebody marks me so much my car, of course it's gonna mark me. You know what I'm saying? If I have to tell a story, it's gonna be in that perspective. And I feel like it was brave of him, and that was very much like something that he needed to do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the acting now. You say that all the actors were like, most of them were like first timers. Mm-hmm. So what do you think of the acting in general? And then we can talk about the main actress. So what do you think about the acting in general?
Well, I think, for example, Cleo, who is Yelitza Aparicio, she's amazing, and her career grew more after that.
Oh, her career grew more after the movie. She got more offers after that.
She's like doing like campaigns with Dior. And
wow! Yeah. Oh, I think I seen it. This Dior's campaign. Yeah.
So she's doing a bunch of stuff, and she kind of like made herself like look at the world kind of thing. Yeah. And I think she did a great job, but because she didn't know how to act, you know, she thought that this is how movies are made. Yeah. You know, because the way they shoot these movies is just so different than the way we will shoot a movie. Because we have like all this process, like actors have to be prepared, they have to go all through these things and like rehearsal. And more part of the shots that you see in the movie is just one shot and that was it. And you see a lot of shots that are like
a lot of like long shots.
Yeah, so I think like that made the acting even better because for them it was like, oh, this is how you're supposed to do it, and at the same time it's so natural. Okay. Because
talk about natural though. So because I have my own opinion on the acting, right? So, but why do you think that the director that is so seasoned of a director, he's made tremendous movies with like the greatest actors in the world, why would you think that he picked a person that never acted before? Well, why do you think he made this choice?
I feel because of the history of the movie is about a regular family.
Oh, because it's very much interesting to see that a so seasoned and successful of a director chooses an actor that doesn't have any credit, that never acted before. So it's very much intriguing.
And most part of the actors were like that.
Yeah.
Because, I saw one interview, I think, of him. And he basically was looking for doppelgangers. How you say it?
Doppelgangers?
Yeah, from like the people that he was from his
childhood. Wow, that's crazy. He was looking for doppelgangers?
So I've
never heard about
that's probably why too, and like you know, like Cleo, she's indigenous. She's Mexican indigenous. So we don't see often a lot of like, indigenous. They're mixed with American, but no, actually like you know.
Like straight up.
So I think that's also why, you know.
Yeah.
I think like he just tried everything to make his childhood like become alive again.
Yeah, I feel like and that's exactly why the movie deserved every praise that he received, because the movie was so raw. Like you don't usually see that kind of movies. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't connect to the story, even if you don't connect to the cinematography or the type of movie, because it's boring, it's slow, and it's black and white. You don't usually see that because the director, he took the endeavor to like made it as more authentic as possible from his memories, and he did actually.
And it is.
That's crazy, and I fucking love it.
Yeah, because movies like that, they're not really made anymore. Like I remember 400 Blows.
Yeah.
That is very, very old movie. Also black and white, following the history of like this little kid that is a mess.
And one thing though, that type of movie is the type of movie that is made only for a certain audience, because not everybody's gonna like it. Some people don't like black and white movies.
But I love that.
Tell me about it.
You tell me about it. You're a cinematographer. Tell me about it.
Most of the things that I shot, most of my work is in black and white.
It's true.
My first short film that I made was in black and white. That was 2016. You know, that was in black and white, and I made like a lot of stuff in black and white. And I feel like in the future, I'm gonna make a lot of whatever I see. But there's gonna be a lot of black and white movies in my
I think
rosters.
black and white makes you everything more close to.
It makes everything authentic. I feel like you're right though, because we can't usually express it, but black and white makes everything authentic.
Yeah.
Even when you change something, even when you do visual effects and everything, black and white don't pick it up, so it looks natural. You feel me? If you look at the reason why all those Charlie Chaplin's, all those movies from like the old times, they're so authentic, although they're really old, is because it's in black and white. Why do you think he decided to shoot the movie in black and white?
I think because he wanted to have more intimacy with what he was doing. I don't know, and also because it's something that. Like what I was telling you, when you think about the past, you kind of like think black and white. So I think that was what's his reason.
That was one really okay, cool.
Yeah, and I don't know. I cannot imagine watching Roma like with color.
He was in this big format, 6.5 Alexa 6.5 format, and the visuals of it. Come on, man.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Like you really have to be into cinema in order to sit down to the story, because I think it's like 2 hours something, and it's all black and white, all slow and shit.
Yeah.
If you don't feel connected to that type of story, you're not gonna watch it.
Yeah, you're not.
That's why I say that the movie was made for like a specific,
And that's why a lot of people didn't want their movie to win so many awards as it did.
Because they don't understand the perspective of the story, not only as a filmmaker, but as a person that can relate to the story. You feel me? So I have another question though. So do you think that in the future, if you make a movie about your life, do you think that you're gonna make it in black and white or in color?
I don't know.
You don't know? Not you don't know yet?
I don't know, because I like. I think it's just Roma is one of those movies that makes you think that not every movie can be in black and white.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know. I will need to figure out first what part of my story I will tell to see if I will shoot in black and white or not. Because I also love color. I love when you watch a movie and like, I don't know, there's a lot of emotions because the color makes you feel that way.
Yeah.
But now you made me think about that there's two, like, have you watched The Tree of Life?
Oh yeah! Oh my God!
That is a movie kind of the style of Roma, by like the kind of like the plot,
I didn't watch.
It has so many colors.
Yeah, I didn't watch the movie because of
the.
I say I didn't watch the movie because of the story. I watched the movie because of the visuals and the cinematography, and I feel
pleasure for your eyes.
And I feel like the filmmaker, whoever wrote this movie, didn't want nobody to feel a certain type of way because the story was so personal to them that whatever they felt, that's what they put on paper, and most people are not going to relate to it. They're not going to understand it, so they use the cinematography to make it so appealing that going to make you watch it. Wow. You feel me? The cinematography is great, and it was shot. By the way, it was shot by Emmanuel Lubezki, who works with Alfonso Cuarón.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, Emmanuel Lubezki just shot it. See?
Very nice. So you see, it's different perspectives.
Yeah, it's
how you remember things.
Yeah,
and how it feels close to you, personal to you in the best way.
Exactly. It's all about how you feel things and how you perceive stuff. That's why it's very much important to not care about what people think of you, and it's very much important to do whatever the fuck you want to do because time flies.
You're right. I mean, I admire Alfonso a lot.
Me too.
For doing that, it's really brave to do
he's
that.
a very good director. I wouldn't call him. He's not a director to me. He's not a cinematographer to me. I feel like to me he's an artist.
Yeah.
He's a visionary and he sees stuff.
Roma is a masterpiece, let me tell you.
So have you seen Desierto?
Desierto, no.
Yeah, it was a movie made by Alfonso Cuarón and his son.
Really?
This movie is a movie.
When?
I think the movie came out in 2016.
Oh, really?
So do you know Alfonso Cuarón's son is a filmmaker too?
Yeah.
Desierto was an amazing movie, and I feel like most people that watch it are not gonna relate to it because it's about crossing the border, the Mexican border from Mexico to the United States, and there was like a group of, I'm not gonna spoil it, but there was like a group of like young people, young Mexican, people trying to like, cross over the border, and then they get intercepted by a group of,
Police.
not police, white Americans that want to defend the borders, and they start killing them.
What?
Bro, this movie is a masterpiece.
Oh, wow. I need to watch it.
You need to watch it. I feel like every single Hispanic person in America should watch Desierto. You feel me? And then when I watched the movie, I was like, bro, and the music that he made onto it.
That is something that Alfonso Cuarón has, because the music in Roma, not only the music but the sound.
The sound, the vibe, the silence.
The silence.
Bro, the silence makes me go mad. I love silence in movies. That's why I love Japanese movies.
I need to find really good Japanese movies, but I don't know. They're good ones. They're just
bro,
a little weird.
No, they're not. I feel like you think it's weird because you don't. It's different from your culture. You know what I'm saying? So it's normal to think it's weird. And most people that don't know my Mexican culture, they would think about those movies as being weird.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I show Roma to my friends, they were like, "Bro, it's been 25 minutes. Nobody's talking. It's been 35 minutes. Nobody's talking. What the hell is that?"
Just clear.
I'm like, bro.
Doing the laundry and listening to music. And
All these long shots, all these things. It's like
cooking.
you definitely can't relate.
Cleaning shit because
She cleaning shit. She said cleaning. Get out! She said cleaning shit. But that's true though. She's been cleaning shit for fucking 45 minutes.
And that's life,
That's life. And that's very much, just like you said, that's life. Because let's say you walk into a building, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's real time. You're going to see the whole thing. You're going to walk into it. You're going to, go to your room. You're going to come down. It's real time. So he wanted to show that to us because 2 hours wasn't enough for him to show his whole memory.
Yeah.
So he did as much as he could to show us in real time what exactly happened.
Yeah.
That's what excites me, and that's very much good.
It's like when you arrive to a place, like when I came here, I've never been here at your place, and it's the first time. So I pay attention to your paintings. We're talking about your paintings, about your art, about the stuff that you do and everything to build that connection.
Mm-hmm. And most
feel comfortable.
Yeah, right. And most of the time, if most people, somebody outside the conversation wouldn't pay attention because it's not a conversation that might interest them.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, whatever. But to us, okay, we have this conversation and everything. And then 20 years later, if something happened and we remember this and we have to tell the story, we're gonna take our time to tell the story and then whatever the fuck happened. You feel me?
Wow.
So yeah. And you definitely should go watch Desierto.
I will.
You might not like it in a way that it's very upsetting.
No, I think I will like it because I'm also an immigrant.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't came in here crossing the border jumping.
Yeah, jumping, but
in
you
a
can
certain
relate
way-
because
Yeah, I relate because I left my life there in Colombia, and then I had to make a new life here. And it's just the barrier of language and culture and all that stuff that is kind of hard. But I definitely feel really because all immigrants feel like that in a centered way.
Yeah, in a certain way.
Yeah.
You're right. That's great. So we definitely have a lot more to talk about this movie. If you want to talk about this movie, we're never gonna wrap this up.
Yes.
It's so interesting.
It's so great.
So I wanted to say thank you so much for being here. I very much appreciate you being here on my little thing, and definitely please come back.
I will.
We can talk about,
What?
Let's talk about Desierto.
Okay.
Next time you come back, go home, watch it, and the next time you come back, we're gonna talk about Desierto.
Wait, I wanna also. Have you watched Encanto?
No, what is it?
It's the new Disney animated movie that is based in Colombia.
Oh, I've seen it, but I haven't watched. I've seen the trailer.
Okay. If you watch it, we can also talk about animated movie, or maybe you can talk it with Nat because Nat does animated.
Yeah. Oh,
but,
I want to talk. Do you know what I want to talk about with Nat? I want to talk about Coco.
Oh, wait, yeah, it's Coco and Encanto. You guys can both talk about that because it's kind of similar, but I feel. As Colombian, I feel they always represent so much the Mexican culture, and that is so nice.
And it's so beautifully done.
And it's beautiful, and everything almost is based on Mexico. But I feel other countries like Colombia, Peru, Bolivia, all these other countries that are in South America also have their part that should be told. And Encanto, I was really proud because I was like, finally I can feel how my culture is and I can see it, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll definitely talk about our
We
movies.
definitely should. We definitely should talk about that. So thank you so much for being here. That's the end of our episode. That was my good friend Laura. She's a Colombiana. I'm so proud to know her. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
I'll
you for
never,
having me.
bro.
I had so much fun.
Yeah, I had so much fun. So that's the end of our episode. If that's the first time watching, please leave us a like, share, so more people can see what we're talking about, you know. And peace the fuck out. Brah! Brah!
Well, that was great.
That was great.